Click the bell icon to get latest videos from Ekeeda.
Hello friends, now we are going to learn the forward and the backward calculations under the networking diagram. So this is the part where we are going to discuss drawing the network diagram as well as the forward and the backward calculations. That is the second most important part of any CPM diagram. Let's see. Now this is a problem where we have activities from A to F. So there are 6 activities, and the new addition in the question is the duration of the activities. So this duration can be in days, weeks, months, hours, or it can be in seconds also. So duration basically indicates the time for which the activity will be conducted or the time taken by the activity to get completed. Now let's first draw the diagram and put down the duration against each activity. If you look at the diagram, A ke pehle dash, that is there is no activity before A, that means A is the initial activity, whereas A precedes B and B precedes C as well as D. So I'll first draw A के बाद B आएगा और B के बाद दो एक्टिविटीज आएगा C और D, एंड C एंड D हमें कंबाइन भी करना है, वहां से निकलेगा E और E के बाद आएगा F. So be very careful. We need to join C and D, and we need to start with C and D after B. So A is my initial activity. So here is my A with duration of 3. A के बाद आएगा आपका B. Here is my activity B, and after B we will have C as well as D. तो ये रहा आपका C and D. Now C and D have the common tail, so they can't have the common head. मुझे C और D ज्वाइन करना है, लेकिन मेरा C और D का ऑलरेडी टेल कॉमन है, तो मैं उनको डायरेक्टली ज्वाइन नहीं कर सकता. That's why I will introduce a dummy activity in this case. So I have taken a dummy from C to D. Alternatively, you can go from D to C. It's highly subjective. आज मैंने C to D बनाया है, शायद कल बनाऊंगा तो D to C भी बना सकता हूँ. It's purely subjective. It won't affect the solution. Your answer won't go wrong. Answers will remain same. Now after joining C and D, we'll start with E. And after E we have F as my final activity. Now check the rules. Flow should be from left to right. Second rule, one start point, one end point. Third rule, there should not be multiple activities dangling. And next we need to put the numbers against the nodes. हम नोट्स के अगेंस्ट नंबर्स पुट डाउन करेंगे, एंड बी वेरी केयरफुल, द नंबर एट द हेड शुड बी ऑलवेज मोर देन द नंबर एट द टेल. सो ये मेरा टेल 1, हेड बड़ा, बी के लिए टेल 3. नाउ इफ आई पुट 4 हियर एंड 5 हियर, देन देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम. आपका टेल 5 हो जाएगा और हेड 4 हो जाएगा, विच इज नॉट अलाउड. Therefore, I need to put a 4 against the head of the C, and I need to put a 5 against the head of the D. Then we have 6 and 7. I'll just put down the duration of each activity against the corresponding activities. So B का duration है 4, C का ड्यूरेशन 7, D has a duration of 10, E has a duration of 5, and F has a duration of 2. We have a dummy for which the duration will be 0. As it happened in case of assignment, transportation, in the same manner, whenever we introduce a dummy, the dummy is not an actual activity, so technically we are not going to spend any resources or any time on this activity, and therefore the total cost or the total time associated with the dummy activity will be always 0. So we have just put down a 0 against the dummy. Now we are going to learn something called as the forward calculations and the backward calculations. First we'll learn how to calculate the forward calculations, and based on the forward calculations we are going to come backwards and calculate the backward calculations. Let's first start with the forward calculations. Now all these calculations are nothing but the time estimates that indicate the earliest starting time or the earliest finishing time based on that forward calculations. Our timer will always start at 0, and therefore before I start with the project or the tail of the start of the project, that is the starting point of the project, will always have 0 as the initial time. So I'll put a 0 here. Now 0 indicates the start of the project. Now once I start from here at timer 0, by the time activity A is completed, my total time will be 0 plus 3, 3. Now once I go from 2 to 3, it will be 3 plus 4, 7. Next I will go from 3 to 4, it will be 7 plus 7, 14. Now if I want to come at 5, अगर मुझे 5 पे आना है तो I can come from 3 to 5 or I can come from 4 to 5. If I come from 4 to 5, it will be 14 plus 0, 14. If I come from 3 to 5, it will be 7 plus 10, 17. 3 to 5 आऊंगा तो 17, 4 to 5 आऊंगा तो 14. You have to select whichever is higher at the merge event. So 7 plus 7, 14, 14 plus 0, 14, or 7 plus 10, 17. Whichever is more will be 17. Now from 5 to 6 it will be 17 plus 5, 22, and from 6 to 7 it will be 22 plus 2, 24. This will be called as the forward calculation. So I started from node 1 and I completed at node number 7. 0 is the starting time, 24 is the ending time, which indicates that 24 will be the minimum time taken to complete all the activities and complete the project. Now based on these forward calculations we will go backward. So backward के लिए हमको start करना पड़ेगा reverse में from end to start. Forward में हम लोग ने शुरू किया था 1 and we completed at 7, that is we started at the initial stage and we completed the forward calculation at the end of the project. In case of backward calculations, we will exactly start from back side, that is the end, and will come to the start. तो हमारा backward calculation में यहाँ पे 0 नहीं आएगा, यहाँ पर आएगा 24. So I'll put down a 24 here, which indicates that 24 is the maximum time that will be taken to complete the project. Now while going backwards, we will subtract because we are going in a reverse manner. Forward में हम लोग plus कर रहे थे, backward में हम minus करेंगे. So how it will be done? Let's see. So in case of going reverse, I will go from node number 7 to node number 6. नोड नंबर 7 से नोड नंबर 6 पे जाने के लिए मैं 24 minus 2, it will be 22. Node number 6 to node number 5, it will be 22 minus 5, 17. Node number 5 to node number 4, 17 minus 0, 17. Now in case of node number 3, this is a burst event. यहाँ से दो activities एक साथ निकल रहा है, so this is the burst event. यहाँ पर I can come back from 4 to 3 or 5 to 3. If I come back from 4 to 3, it will be 17 minus 7, 10. If I come back from 5 to 3, it will be 17 minus 10, 7. So I have to select whichever is lower. At burst event, select lower time estimate. So it will be 4 to 3 backwards, 17 minus 7, 10, or 5 to 3 backwards, 17 minus 10, 7. Whichever is lower में 7 आएगा. Now 3 to 2, it will be 7 minus 4, 3, and 2 to 1, it will be 3 minus 3, 0. So it will be the test that once you get the 0, that means your backward calculations are almost correct. अगर आपका 0 आया अपने आप, that means your backward calculations will be correct. And I think the backward calculation is the more challenging part rather than the forward calculations. Forward में you have to pay attention at the merge event. Backward में you have to pay attention at the burst event. We have already discussed what is a merge event and what is a burst event. और merge event पे we have to take whichever is higher of the two time estimates, और backward calculation के वक्त the burst event पे you have to take whichever is lower. Now this is one more example of the second example based on forward and the backward calculation. Let's first draw the diagram and then work out the calculations. I will read the question first. We have activities A to G, and I have A and B as the initial activities because there are no preceding activities before A and B. Then after A I have C, after B I have D. Then we have to combine C and D, और वहाँ से दो activities और निकलेगा E and F, and after F we have G. Now we need to be very careful at the last stage because C और D के बाद E और F निकल रहा है और F के बाद G निकल रहा है. Let's first draw A and B as the initial activities. So A will have duration of 4, B has a duration of 5. Then after A we have C with a duration of 2. After B we have D with a duration of 7. And after merging or after combining C and D, we have two activities E and F. For E the duration is 3, for F the duration is 4, and now after E and F we have G after completion of F. F के बाद आपका G आएगा. अब F के बाद अगर मैं G डायरेक्ट ड्रॉ करूंगा आगे, तो there will be, if I draw F के बाद G, there will be dangling because two activities E and G will be the endpoints, which is not allowed because we can have only one endpoint. Therefore, I will draw G directly from F and I will combine it with E because E and G are my end activities in the network diagram. So G will have a duration of 3 days. So with this we are done with the diagram. The diagram looks tricky. There are no dummies involved. Now let's put the numbers against the nodes. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to put a 5 here and then I can put a 6 here. I can't go in the other way. अगर मैं यहाँ पे 6 लिखता हूँ और यहाँ पे 5 लिखता हूँ तो मेरा tail बड़ा हो जाएगा और head छोटा हो जाएगा, which is not allowed under networking. Now the next part is forward calculations. Remember the rule, whichever is higher in case of forward calculations and in case of backward calculations whichever is lower. तो पहले हम लोग forward calculations देखते हैं. Our timer will start at 0. So here comes my 0. Now 0 plus 4 यहाँ पर आएगा 4. 0 plus 5 यहाँ पर आएगा 5. Next I can go from 2 to 4 and 3 to 4. मैं 2 to 4 जाऊंगा तो 4 plus 2 6. मैं 3 to 4 जाऊंगा तो 5 plus 7 12. Whichever is more, whichever is higher shall be recorded under forward calculations. So it will be 4 plus 2 6 or 5 plus 7 12. So 12 will be the higher. Next 4 से मैं जाऊंगा 5 पे तो 12 plus 4 it will be 16. Now at 6 I can go from two directions. I can go from 4 to 6. I can go from 5 to 6. मैं 4 to 6 जाऊंगा तो 12 plus 3 15 आएगा. If I go from 5 to 6 it will be 16 plus 3 19. So 15 or 19 whichever is more it shall be 19. So 19 is the total time of the project. Now comes the backward calculations. I'll start with the end point for backward calculations with the estimated time of 19. और अब हम लोग बैकवर्ड आएंगे 6 to 5. So 19 minus 3 it will be 16. Now at 4, remember 4 is the burst event. So you have to be very careful in case of burst event for backward calculations. मैं 4 पे दो जगह से आ सकता हूँ. मैं अगर ऊपर से आऊंगा तो 6 to 4 आऊंगा जहाँ पे 19 minus 3 it will be 16. अगर मैं नीचे से आऊंगा 5 to 4 तो it will be 16 minus 4 12. So from upside it will be 19 minus 3 16 or 16 minus 4 12. Whichever is lower will be 12. Next 12 minus 2 10. 4 to 3 it will be 12 minus 7 5. अब 1 पे मैं दो जगह से आ सकता हूँ because 1 is my burst event. So 2 to 1 it will be 10 minus 4 6. 3 to 1 it will be 5 minus 5 0. Now since I got a 0, that is the indication that my backward calculations are correct. This was all about forward and backward calculations. Now how they are useful while calculating some estimates called as the time estimates. We have 4 different time estimates. First one is EST. EST stands for earliest starting time. EFT stands for earliest finishing time. LST stands for latest starting time, and LFT stands for latest finishing time. So there are 4 time estimates. Let's first understand what they indicate. As the name suggests, it's very easy to understand what is the earliest starting time. Earliest starting time indicates the most earliest time when I can start an activity. किसी भी एक्टिविटी को मैं जल्दी में जल्दी कब स्टार्ट कर सकता हूं, that will be called as the earliest starting time. In the same manner, If I start an activity at the earliest starting time and nothing goes wrong, then I can complete it at the earliest possible time. That time of the activity where it can be completed at the most earliest time will be called as the earliest finishing time, EFT. एग्जैक्टली उसका उल्टा होता है लेटेस्ट फिनिशिंग टाइम एंड लेटेस्ट स्टार्टिंग टाइम. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय लेटेस्ट स्टार्टिंग टाइम? द मैक्सिमम टाइम बाय विच आई कैन डिले एन एक्टिविटी without delaying the overall completion time. In case of forward and backward calculations, इस एग्जाम्पल में ये जो फाइनल आंसर है at the end of the project 19 is called as the overall completion time. Can I delay any of the activities without delaying this total time of 19? Depends upon the activities and their connections. Here, latest starting time indicates the maximum time by which an activity can be delayed without delaying the overall completion time. In the same manner, latest finishing time indicates the maximum time by which I can delay the finishing of an activity so that it can be still completed within the stipulated time. That is called as latest finishing time. Now, how to calculate this earliest starting time, earliest finishing time, latest starting time and latest finishing time, we are going to learn in the next example. So we have activities A to F here and we have the durations. Let's first draw the diagram and make the forward and the backward calculations, and then I'll talk about the time estimates. A and B के पहले dash मतलब A और B के पहले कोई भी preceding activities नहीं है. So A and B are my initial activities. So here is my A and B. अब A के बाद आएगा C, B के बाद आएगा D और मुझे C और D कंबाइन भी करना है. A के बाद C, B के बाद D and I need to combine C and D और वहां से निकलेगा E and F. So ये रहा मेरा E और ये रहा मेरा F. Now this is a case of dangling as we did earlier. So ये दो end points तो हो नहीं सकता है. Because I have got E and F as the end activities, इनका tail common है तो इनका head common नहीं हो सकता है. For that purpose, I will introduce a dummy here. Now this dummy can be put down the arrow from E to F, or it can go from F to E as you wish. मैं F to E ऊपर जा दूंगा. I'll put down the duration against each of the activity. For A, the duration is 1, B 4, C 5, D 2, E 7 and F 3. For dummy it will be always 0. Now the next thing is putting down the numbers against the node. ध्यान देना है, tail should be always less than the head. In this case the numbers will be 1 at the start, then we will have a 2, 3, 4. I'll put a 5 here and then I'll put a 6 here. I can't go the other way. मुझे मेरा end E के बाद करना E के head पे, तो I will put a 6 here. If I put a 6 here and 5 here, then the head will become less than the tail, which is not allowed in any circumstances under networking. Now I will come to the forward calculations and then we'll talk about the backward calculations. I will start with the 0 here. So here is my 0. So 0 plus 4 it shall be 4, 0 plus 1 it shall be 1. अब मुझे 2 to 4 जाना है तो 1 plus 5 6, 3 to 4 जाना है 4 plus 2 6, both weight will be same, तो मैं एक ही 6 लूंगा दोनों में से कोई तो. Then I have to go from 4 to 5, 6 to 3, 9. Then I have to go at 6. I can go from 4 to 6 or 5 to 6. अगर मैं 4 to 6 जाऊंगा तो 6 plus 7 13, और अगर मैं 5 to 6 जाऊंगा तो 9 plus 0 9. Whichever is more में आएगा 13. So 13 is my total project completion time. The next thing is backward calculations. I'll put the 13 here. Backward calculation में मेरा सबसे पहले 6 to 5 आएगा 13 minus 0, फिर आएगा 6 to 4 और 5 to 4. I can go both the ways. Burst event है. अगर मैं 6 to 4 आऊंगा तो 13 minus 7 6, 5 to 4 आऊंगा तो 13 minus 3 10. So it will be whichever is less. Next will be 4 to 2 backward 6 minus 5, and 4 to 3 backward 6 minus 2 4. And now I have to come back to the start. I can come back from 2 to 1 or 3 to 1. 2 to 1 आऊंगा तो 1 minus 1 0. If I come from 3 to 1 it will be again 4 minus 4 0. So both ways it will be 0. And getting a 0 means that your backward calculations are right. So this is the case where we are done with the forward and the backward calculations. Now the next part will be making the calculations of the earliest starting time, earliest finishing time, latest starting time and latest finishing time. For that we need to make a table. I'll make a small table with all the 4 time estimates. First I'll put down the activities and their duration.
बोलो काय त्याला
नाही विचारलं सर, मी पिऊन आलो मग.
काय म्हणायचं?
So we have put down the activities and their duration in the table, and I have added 4 more columns for earliest starting time, earliest finishing time, latest starting time and latest finishing time. First of all, we will fill up the earliest starting time and the latest finishing time. To get the earliest starting time, you have to look at the tail, the number on the left, that is the forward calculation of the number. For example, if I am talking about activity A, for activity A, the blue color numbers are forward calculation numbers, whereas the red color numbers are the backward calculation numbers. So EST के लिए आपको टेल पे लेफ्ट मतलब ब्लू कलर वाला नंबर देखना है, और LFT के लिए आपको हेड पे राइट साइड में मतलब रेड कलर वाला नंबर देखना है. इन केस ऑफ ए का टेल 1 है, यहाँ पे लेफ्ट में ब्लू कलर नंबर इज 0, so my earliest starting time for A will be 0. Same way for B, my tel is 1, so at tel the blue color number, that is the left hand side number, is 0. Next, for activity C, my tel is 2, so the blue color number at 2 is 1, so that will be my earliest starting time of C. For activity D, the tel is 3, जहाँ पे नंबर है आपका ब्लू कलर मतलब लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में 4. फॉर एक्टिविटी ई मेरा टेल है 4, जहाँ पे नंबर ऑन द लेफ्ट इज 6. एंड फॉर एक्टिविटी एफ द टेल इज अगेन 4 and the number on the left hand side blue colored ink is 6. Then comes the LFT, the last column. For LFT we will check at the head and we will select the number on the right rather than left. सो LFT के लिए A का लेटेस्ट फिनिशिंग टाइम आएगा हेड पे, राइट हैंड साइड में हमारे पास नंबर है 1, सर 1 will be written here. Same way for activity B, the number at the head on the right hand side is 4, therefore 4 will be the latest finishing time of B. Same way for C, मेरा head है 4, तो वहां पे मेरा नंबर है राइट हैंड साइड में 6. For D, again the number on the right hand side against the head is 6. For E, the number on the head at the right hand side is 13. And for F, the number on the right hand side against the head is 13. Once I am done with these two calculations, the purpose of the diagram is done. Now I can calculate the earliest finishing time and the latest starting time. Your earliest finishing time will be equal to your earliest starting time plus duration of the project. And for latest starting time, the formula will be latest finishing time minus duration of the project. So it will be 0 plus 1 1, 0 plus 4 4, 1 plus 5 6, 4 plus 2 6, 6 plus 7 13, and 6 plus 3 9. So 1 plus 0, 4 plus 0, 5 plus 1, 2 plus 4, 7 plus 6, and 3 plus 6, that is 9. For backward calculations के base पे I can calculate the LST. I have got the formula LFT minus duration, so it will be 1 minus 1, 4 minus 4, 6 minus 5, 6 minus 2, 13 minus 7, and 13 minus 3. So these are the numbers we got. So these are my 4 time estimates. This indicates the earliest starting time, finishing time, as well as the latest starting time and finishing time for each activity of the project. If somebody asks me what is the total completion time of the project or the minimum time taken to complete the project, I can simply point out to the right hand side at the end of the activity or at the end of the project 13 days. So my minimum completion time will be 14. It can be days, it can be weeks, it can be hours, it can be anything. So that was the second example we did based on the time estimates. We did something called as forward, backward, and the time estimates. Now let's do one more example based on these things to get the conceptual clarity. Now this is the last example based on the time estimates, and then we'll talk about something called as floats at a later stage. Now this is a bigger version where I have taken activities A to I. So there are almost more than 8 to 10 activities, and we have the preceding activities and the duration for each of the activities in days. So A और B के पहले dash है, मतलब A and B are my initial activities. So A और B के पहले dash है. So A and B are my initial activities. After completion of A, I can start with C and D. A के बाद I can start with C and D, और B के बाद मैं start करूंगा E, और मुझे C और E combine भी करना है, वहां से निकलेगा F. तो after A I can start with C as well as D, and after completion of B, I can start with E. I need to join E with C because C और E combine होके वहाँ से F निकलेगा. So here is my F. F के बाद निकलेगा H. Then we have G after completion of D. And after G we have the end activity I. We already have one end activity H, so I'll simply join I and H because both are the end activities. तो मुझे एक ही single end point चाहिए, इसलिए हमने I और H को join किया. Now I'll put down the numbers against the notes. Numbers shall be 1, 2, 3. आप उल्टा भी लिख सकते हो 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So this is my network diagram. I'll put down the numbers of the duration against each of the activity. For A the duration is 1, for B the duration is 3, for C the duration is again 4, for D it is 2, for E it will be 7, for F it shall be 4, for G it shall be 5, for H it will be 6, and for I it will be 10. So drawing the diagram was a bit challenge here. You need to practice a lot with such kind of diagrams which are having such a huge number of activities, and please check for all the connections or the networking connections, and don't just focus on the shape of the diagram. What matters for us is the networking connections. Just check for the connections, read the question carefully, understand the question. This is not something that should be by-hearted by you. This is not something you can just mug up and write in the exam, because every problem will be unique in its own sense. You never know what can be encountered in each of the problem, and the only critical aspect in any CPM problem is the network, because once you go wrong with the network, almost your 90% of the problem may go wrong, and therefore there is such a huge focus on drawing the networking diagram. We are done with the diagram. Now we'll go for the forward calculation and the backward calculations. This is perhaps the biggest network diagram right now we are doing, where we are going for the forward calculation first. Let's start with the forward calculations. I'll start with the 0. So here comes my 0. I'll go from 1 to 2, it will be 0 plus 1. 1 to 3, it will be 0 plus 3. 2 to 4, it will be 1 plus 4, 5. Or I can come from 3 to 4, it will be 3 plus 7, 10. Whichever is more. So it will be 10. On the upper side, it will be 2 to 5, 1 plus 2, 3. From 5 to 6, it will be 3 plus 5, 8. From 4 to 7, it will be 10 plus 4, 14. And at the end, I can come from 6 to 8, that is 8 plus 10, 18, or 7 to 8, 14 plus 6, 20. So whichever is more comes to 20. Now we will look at the backward calculations. We'll start with the end of the networking diagram. I'll write 20 here. Now for backward calculations, we go for the subtraction. So it will be 20 minus 6, 14. 14 minus 4, 10. On the upper side, it will be 20 minus 10, 10. 6 to 5, it will be 10 minus 5, 5. Now at 2 there is a burst event. Burst event pe we need to be very careful. So it will be 5 minus 2 3 or 10 minus 4 6, whichever is lower. So 5 minus 2 3 or 10 minus 4 6, so it will be 3, and at 3 it will be 4 to 3, it will be 10 minus 7 3. And now coming to the origin, it will be 2 to 1 आएंगे तो 3 minus 1 2, और 3 to 1 आएंगे तो 3 minus 3, it will be 0. So getting a 0 indicates that my forward and the backward calculations are right. Now we'll make the table and calculate the time estimates. So we have made a table where I have written the activities and their duration. Now for calculating the earliest starting time and the latest finishing time, we need to follow the calculations in the diagram. Earliest starting time के लिए हम लोग टेल पे लेफ्ट साइड, दैट इज द फॉरवर्ड कैलकुलेशन वाला नंबर देखेंगे, और लेटेस्ट फिनिशिंग टाइम के लिए हम लोग हेड पे राइट हैंड साइड, दैट इज बैकवर्ड कैलकुलेशन वाला नंबर देखेंगे. फॉर ईएसटी, लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द ईएसटी फर्स्ट. फॉर एक्टिविटी ए आपका टेल है 1, so number on the left is 0, so my earliest starting time will be 0. For activity B, my tel is 1, number on the left is 0. For activity C, here is my C, tel पे left में number है 1. Activity D, tel पे left में है number 1. Activity E, tel पे left में number है 3. Activity F, टेल पे नंबर है 10. एक्टिविटी G, टेल लेफ्ट साइड नंबर इज 3. एक्टिविटी H, टेल लेफ्ट हैंड साइड नंबर इज 14. एंड I, टेल लेफ्ट हैंड साइड नंबर इज 8. So we are done with the earliest starting time. Now we'll work out the latest finishing time and we'll look at the head of the activity. A का हेड है 2, राइट हैंड साइड नंबर इज 3. B का हेड है 3, राइट हैंड साइड नंबर इज 3. C का हेड है 4, राइट हैंड साइड नंबर इज 10. For D, the head is 5, right hand side number on the head is 5. For E, the head is 4, right hand side का number है 10. For F, the head is 7, right hand side का number है 14. For G, the head is 6, right hand side का number है 10. For H, head is 8, right hand side का number है 20. And for I, again the head is 8, the number on the right hand side is 20. So I got the latest finishing time. The next thing I need to calculate is the earliest finishing time and the latest starting time. For getting the earliest finishing time, our formula will be earliest starting time plus D, that is the duration. And for getting the latest starting time, the formula will be latest finishing time minus duration. So in this case, I'll work out the calculations now. It will be 0 plus 1, 0 plus 3, 1 plus 4, 1 plus 2, 3 plus 7, 10 plus 4, and 3 plus 5, 14 plus 6, 8 plus 10. So you're done with the earliest finishing time. For latest starting time, it will be LFT minus duration D. So 3 minus 1, 3 minus 3, 10 minus 4, 5 minus 2, 10 minus 7, 14 minus 4, 10 minus 5, 20 minus 6, and 20 minus 10. So with this we are done with the EST, EFT, LST and LFT. I hope you got the basic calculations correct. Work out the methods, learn the forward and the backward calculations, and based on that we calculate earliest starting time, earliest finishing time, latest starting time and latest finishing time. That's it for the day. Thanks for watching this video. Do subscribe to our channel Ekeeda.